Hello and welcome to Marketing Edge on TV, Nigerians' leading initiative in the business of brand management and the management of brand business. It is a 30 minutes potpourri of brand news, branding focus, and industry conversation, all in a mix encompassing thorough and in-depth, all aimed at promoting the brand idea. Amogale Abikele.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
Good to have you back. First on Marketing Edge on TV is Brand News, where we bring you the latest developments around brands and in the field of marketing, advertising, and communication in Nigeria and around the world.
Now on Brand News. The World Advertisers Research Center, WARC, has revealed that campaigns that make a clear promise to the customer have a high propensity to drive brand health, market share, long-term sales, as well as sustain commercial growth for brands. The report followed a critical analysis of over 2,000 campaigns by the global research body alongside LinkedIn's B2B Institute and strategy expert Roger Martin, author of Playing to Win. According to the research, promise to the customer campaigns deliver a significant brand and commercial advantage compared to those that do not, adding that campaigns that are grounded in an explicit promise to the customer are 48% more likely to report brand health improvements than those that do not. It adds that promise to the customer campaigns are 60% more likely to report increased market share and 17% more likely to report increased market penetration than non-promise to the customer campaigns and can offer a competitive advantage to smaller and scale-up brands to deepen growth. Latest industry report has revealed that global advertising will experience a 5.9% growth in 2023 as digital advertising sector is poised to expand its share of overall ad spending, expected to increase by 8.4% this year and reach 74.4% of total ad revenue by 2028. According to the media forecast released by Group M, a leading advertising holding company, though advertising experienced a decline in the later half of the year 2022, the trend has reversed for 2023 with a more promising outlook anticipated for the second half of the year. Group M foresees a gradual slowdown in digital ad revenue growth over the next 5 years, but retail media, which includes delivery services like Instacart, DoorDash, Uber Eats, amongst others, is expected to grow by 9.9% in 2023, reaching $125.7 billion. However, it is predicted to account for 15.4% of total ad revenue, surpassing overall TV revenue by 2028. The Experiential Marketers Association of Nigeria, XMAN, has announced a lineup of industry-leading lights and talents that have been selected as jury to access and evaluate its 2023 awards entries process. According to the association, the jury is chaired by topmost strategist Inena Oyenwuchi, who is the director of Yellow Brick Road and chief growth officer, Hallow Invest. The experiential body stated that its choice for the jury was a demonstration of its vision to foster transparency within the industry based on their extensive expertise and industry knowledge.
Well, that was Brand News. Next is Branding Focus after this break.
This is the University of Africa. On the streets, you get your real education. Here, everybody has a degree of something. But the most important qualification is imagination. Her reason to imagine is slay. His reason is to be the GOAT. Theirs is to take the beat and make it lit. They want to test edgy till it is fire. Their reason for imagination is to add riz in style. Her reason to imagine is finesse. And hers is to find what's new and bussin'. So no matter what your situation, just use your imagination.
is still heavy on my mind tonight. The pain is deep inside, but I still want to hide. Happy birthday!
Is this what you really want to do?
Yes, Dad. That's what I've been trying to show you.
Fight for your dreams the advanced way with Glow LTE Advanced. The power of 3 data networks in one. Get a Glow SIM or dial *301#.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Now on Brand in Focus. With the International Festival of Creativity, Cannes Lions 2023, taking place this week, the event has indeed come a long way from being initiated in 1954 to becoming a champion of creative excellence and global barometer for the creative industry. The 70th International Festival of Creativity, slated to be held from 19 to 23 June 2023, is expected to provide the definitive benchmark for creativity that drives progress globally. This year, the organizers promised attendees and participants the opportunity to gain new perspectives and insights with a review of selected groundbreaking moments of creativity that have defined the last 70 years, noting that such moments will set the precedent for the next 70 years. Founded in 1954 by a group of international cinema screen advertising contractors, SAWA, Cannes Lions was inspired by the International Film Festival held in Cannes Lions since the late 1940s. In addition to the Lion Trophy being inspired by the Lion of Piazza San Marcos in Venice, however, it was not until 1984 that the southern French city of Cannes became the festival's permanent home. With the Cannes becoming a big entity in 1987, Roger Hutchwell, a French businessman and former member of SAWA, decided to take the reins in his hands by taking over the festival's management. It was in 1992 that the nomenclature of the festival changed from International Film Festival to International Advertising Festival, and other to reflect the multimedia approach, audio-visual, and print medium used in advertising campaigns. The press and outdoor lions were added to the list in 1992, followed by cyber lions after the introduction of online communication, riding on a digital-oriented wave in 1998. Media Lions was then launched in 1999 to allow media planners to join the festival and celebrate the creative use of media. In 2005, Radio Lions was introduced to raise the profile of radio creativity, and a year later, in 2006, Promo Lions was launched to award creative excellence in the areas of sales promotion, including retail marketing. In 2007, Content Showcase for Creators was introduced, and the rewarding of gold, silver, and bronze trophies began in 2008. Up until 2020, when the Cannes Lions was cancelled for the first time owing to the pandemic and forcing it to go fully digital in 2001, Cannes has remained the most innovative and creative festival in the world. So far, Cannes remains the only global cross-discipline show covering advertising, design, digital media, promo, effectiveness, and everything else besides. For any brand to be number one at Cannes, that brand must have done it the hard way, the proper way, and the only way. The Nigerian marketing communications industry has over the years participated in the festival, making it to the list of jurors. This year, Nigeria recorded another indelible milestone as a leading advertising agency, Extreme Ideas, won the first Lion for Nigeria.
But that was Brand in Focus. Next is Industry Conversation, where we have interactions with distinguished personalities who have been at the forefront of strategic positioning and promotion of brands. Well, today we have with us the CEO of Ideas Origin Media, Mr. Israel Obatunde, after this break.
Take it from me, the mind-blowing way to do things is the Glow LTE Advanced way. When you stream, it's like you're in the drama itself. When you make calls, You reach where others can't.
Coffee!
Doing business is like running Wall Street from your street. And when you play,
I did beat the guy.
We'll see about that.
it's like traveling the world without moving an inch.
Is that Toby in your room?
You can download in the blink of an eye in 4K.
Go, go.
And when you go for your dreams, it's like running with the strength of 3 nations behind you.
Glow LTE Advanced, the power of 3 data networks in one. Get a Glow SIM or dial *301#.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Hello and welcome to Industry Conversation, a segment on Marketing Edge on TV, where we have interactions with distinguished personalities who have been at the forefront of the strategic positioning and promotion of brands. Well, today we are with the CEO of Ideas Origin Media, Mr. Israel Obatunde. So pleased to have you with us on Industry Conversation.
Nice to have you too.
Such a great pleasure to have you. And congratulations on your recent win.
Thank
We've
you.
seen all that you have been doing as the CEO of Ideas Origin Media. Well, Israel Obatunde is a creative strategist, the founder and chief creative officer of Ideas Origin Media. He has a unique ability to interpret clients' thoughts in ways that produce outstanding communication results. Over the years, his exceptional works have garnered recognition on international and local platforms like New York Festival, Laurie's Africa, Crystals, and Laugh Awards. So pleased to have you again on Industry Conversation. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Now, so you see, advertising in Nigeria has taken a new dimension in recent times. What would be your assessment of advertising, given the latest occurrences in the industry as it relates to creativity and innovation?
I think so far we've been able to adapt to some of the challenges that we've had in recent times. I mean, ranging from economic issues that has led clients to have constraints on budgets and the realities of the introduction of technology. Some of these things, in one way or the other, has allowed us to be smarter in how we work and also how we approach our challenges. And to be honest, if you are not innovative this time around, if you are not behaving like a dinosaur, you might not exist too long in the game.
Yes. So we saw the new normal post-COVID-19, and there've been a lot of rapid shift in the entire marketing and advertising ecosystem. And we've seen how remarkably agencies have tried to navigate the aftermath of the COVID-19 and all of the changes that came about. But what would you identify some of the factors that have necessitated this overwhelming shift in terms of creativity and innovation?
I think the number one factor for me is relevance. The world is moving at a very fast pace, and the only way you can catch up is by being relevant. I mean, when we have some of the innovations from the global standpoint in terms of introduction of the AIs, ChatGPT, how people are working, and how we have so much knowledge that you can access, whether you are a practitioner or not, the best thing you can do is to work on your relevance. And I wouldn't say that it has been an easy ride, because as fast as we are growing, thanks to the fathers also in the game that has been practicing for years, there's still a lot to catch up with from Africa to the world. But an advantage is there. There is now a link with the global landscape and the local landscape, in the sense that partnership and collaborations with agencies abroad, with global clients, with practitioners, is making it easy to avoid and win daily. So like I said, if you are not a dinosaur, you might not be able to scale in this time and period. So relevance, I think, is a major drive, and also to be able to practice in a standard way. Outside the countries, I work with a lot of professionals all over, and how they practice in terms of changing the narrative from slave to master, agency, client relationship is also a very not so new, but also something we are working on in this part of the world. Like we should be confident as practitioners, as agencies, as creative agencies, to propose solutions to clients and be confident that it will yield them results. I mean, if you are not providing solution in this time and age, then why am I a creative agency in the first place? So all of this goes back to relevance. Keeping relevance as an agency, keeping relevance for the client, because no matter how we want to excite and say we want to be creative, at the end of the day, the client needs to meet his KPI.
And you need the agencies too.
And the agencies
to get that done.
Exactly. So relevance is, I think, a major factor in how we've been able to somehow be innovative in this time and period.
You know, it's very remarkable that you talk, maybe even suggested that it's very important for clients and agencies to have a very cordial relationship where trust and fairness is the game, is the rule of the game. But what would you say is the client and agency relationship like here in Nigeria? If you want to juxtapose that with your experiences with your foreign clients, what would you say it is down here in Nigeria?
So it differs. It differs because the backbone of a successful agency-client relationship is trust, right? And trust can only come from being able to be accessible by the client and also by the agency. So if I don't have a good rapport with my client, it might also be a difficult thing for me to tell him or her something that she should trust about me. So based on different patterns, we have varieties of how this has been happening. So I'm not going to be very direct and general about it because we all have a prototype. Okay. But for us as an agency, I think what we want to achieve is a standard approach to things, which is partnership. It is never going to be a relationship of, oh, agency do this, client, this is it. It's going to be, how can we co-create? How can we solve this problem together? This is the challenge. This is what we think. What do you think? Oh, this is what we also think. We meet at a middle ground. What matters most is we have been innovative, we have been creative, and at the end of the day, my client is happy. They are selling. I mean, the target audience is buying whatever they are selling. So that's the bottom line. Okay.
Given the current economic situation that has also necessitated advertisers cutting back on advertising spend, what would be the implication of this on creativity for agencies?
The implications, I wouldn't lie, they can be very, very, very demeaning or deep. But the positive side of it is also how you react to it. Take, for instance, there is this billionaire that became a billionaire during the World War, right? John became one of the richest of all time in the modern world during the war. So what that tells us is, in every problem, there are opportunities. So if we react based on the fact that there's budget cut, there is this, there's that, yeah, we go back to being a body that complains. But if we see solution, because if my client or any agency's client or the brands are cutting the budget, it's as a result of the fact that they're also having the heat of the economy. So how do I do what I used to do with 10 naira and do it 5 naira and still give value of 10 naira? I think that's the approach, which also goes back to innovation. So, and when I'm talking about innovation this time, it's not only in ideas, in processes. How do we run our agencies? Take, for instance, we are very flexible as an agency in how we run things. It's not a must. Everybody just must show up. You take, for instance,
That's part of the new normal.
exactly.
Yes.
I mean, you don't have to do things like it's been done before. Exactly. So, I mean, like Elon Musk said, if a meeting is more than 10 to 15 people, come on, cut it. I mean, you don't necessarily have to be having 10, 50 meetings on the same brief. Move fast. Look at smarter ways to get things done. Move closer to client, bridge the gap. There are certain things that, I mean, people do on emails that WhatsApp could probably solve the problem for you. Hi, you're done. But you have to send the mails, and it goes back also to bureaucracy.
That's true.
So I mean, flexibility, innovation, being on the go, it's very important to keep the agency afloat in this time.
So in the wake of the technological advancement, we've seen a lot of AI. Prior to this interview, we talked about so many, groundbreaking innovations that we're beginning to see. Now, what would be the impact of these overwhelming technological innovations on creativity and innovation for agencies?
I think the positive side of this technology here, ChatGPT and the likes, has been overemphasized almost everywhere. People are talking about it, how good it is. I just think we just have to also have a caution, right? Because for someone like me, and I think some of the practitioners and colleagues, there's also a side effect to it. Like I mentioned, you see, there is a gap in terms of the craft of some of the new folks we have around here. I mean, as an employer, I have had to interview so many, especially youngsters that really wants to collect a lot of money, but the onions is not there in terms of the craft, in terms of how detailed they are in their storytelling. And you can also trace it back to two major things. When the new normal came, there wasn't really much interface and conversations with maybe your mentor, line manager, or the person that is like a mentor or supervisor to you. You probably don't see anybody. You are alone. When we were growing up in the industry, we had people we look up to, like, I really want to beat what you've done. I really want you. They correct you. There's a reason for having a team lead, a creative director, executive creative director, because all these people have input into what you are doing, making you better every day. The new normal maybe took that away. Everything become is when I see him on screen.
Everything is automated.
Exactly. So that could also be the reaction we are getting in the market as a result of the brain drain can also be traced to that, and also the introduction of the new technologies. Like, I've had a campaign that deliberately we took our time to choose models. From the models, we create a photo shoot where we had the images, afterward post-production. For like a month or two, we were deliberate about what we wanted the visuals and the TVCs to look for that campaign. And when it came out, it was a bomb. Some of those things we did that day, maybe on AI, I chat, and some of these guys, I'll do within 5 minutes, 10 minutes. The detailing we see in AI is not just a flip. There were things that has been recorded, that has been done over time. As an art director way back, there are layers that you have to use to create some of the treatments you see in your pictures. Like, you went to studio and you see yourself so nice, and there are layers that formed it, and practice make you better in those things. Yes. But now, directors don't have to go through that. Writers don't have to start cracking their heads in some ways Tell this guy ChatGPT will write it for you. Maybe.
And then it's making practitioners very mentally, lazy in terms of.
Thank you. Exactly.
Wouldn't want to subject themselves to more intellectual rigor.
Yeah. So and that's why I tell guys, as much as this is great, I love it. As an employer, I use it. However, we should also not replace the space, the place of being genuine with the craft. We shouldn't.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
But that's the much we can take on Marketing Edge on TV this week. Do well to join us same time next week for the second part of our conversation with Mr. Israel Obatunde. I'm Ogale Abikele. See you next time.